All right, so I know a lot of you, but I know that we also have some new faces today. So for those that don't know me, my name is Miss Tara, and I work over at the Warrensville Public Library as the Youth Services Coordinator, which means I get to do awesome things with kiddos like you all the time. And today we get to make our very cool pine cone turkey. Oh, hi Alyssa, nice to see you. So, just before we get started, like I mentioned before, if you don't mind leaving your audio off for this program, only because there are a few of us, and sometimes if we have our audio on, it can kind of garble or be hard to hear. So if you do have questions, if you wouldn't mind typing them in the chat and I can just answer them by speaking to you, that would be a little easier than stopping and starting. If it is something that you definitely cannot ask in chat, that is a-okay, and I just ask that you raise your hand for me, and thank you for the heart, Adeline and Everett. I appreciate it. But I can also answer your questions that way too if it's not something that you can type in. I also mentioned about that we do record this program. That's just in case there were kiddos that possibly missed this. Sometimes we take these videos and we upload them to our YouTube channel, which we started back in the summer, and then that way if kiddos missed certain programs but still wanted to do them from home, they could find them there. So if you're ever looking for something different to do, you could just look up Warrensville Public Library on YouTube, and we have our own channel for that. But today we are making our really awesome pine cone turkey craft. Now I will say that I know a lot of you got a very big pine cone, and some of you got normal sized pine cones. I think most of you got the bigger ones. I got the smaller one. I will say that it's a-okay that we can use either size, and I can definitely tell you what happened and why they're so different. So my daddy, way back before COVID, went to North Carolina, and he saw these really big trees, and these pine cones actually came from North Carolina. He said, you know, do you want me to bring you some home? And this is way back last year, and I said, sure, those would be great for crafts. So I had those sitting there for a year, and this was a perfect craft to use them for. So for those of you that got the bigger ones, just think of how far they traveled. If you got the smaller ones, these are from right here in PA, and they're beautifully grown too. So big or small, these are both really good pine cones. So the first thing that we're going to start with is I'd like us to go through our kit and just make sure that we have everything we need. That way when we're starting step by step, we know that we're all on the same track, okay? So the first thing is, who has their pine cone? Does everyone have their pine cone? I see Michaela's got her pine cone. Adeline and Everett have their pine cones. Jack and Colin have their pine cones. Let's see, Blake has his pine cone. Alyssa has her pine cone, and her brother has her pine cone. And I see the Zoo Crew kids have their pine cones, which is awesome. Okay, how about, let's look in our bag. Who has Google eyes? Who has 2 Google eyes per turkey? Oh, very good. Okay, I know that they're a little smaller than most of our pine cones, so they might be a little harder to find. All right, so we've got those. How about some glue? Does anyone have glue? Very good. Okay, now that is a-okay. What I was going to suggest is I'm going to use school glue, and that does work for this project, but it takes a little bit longer to dry. If with a parent's help you have hot glue at home, you can always use that, and that will go quicker, but school glue will work just fine for this. So I think most everyone has it. I think Michaela's dad went to go grab some. Let's see, Blake, do you have some glue? I might have missed your glue. Yep. Oh, very good. Awesome. Okay. And then we'll just wait here. Michaela, do you have your glue? Or did you? All right, that's okay. We'll wait until he comes back. Okay, friends? Awesome. That's the great thing to do. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. Let's see. We'll come back to the glue. Who has some paper, some brown, yellow, orange, and red paper? We have all these different colors. Very good. Okay. Awesome sauce. All right. How about some scissors? We'll show them safely. Okay. Points down. Who has scissors? Very good. We always got to be safe with our scissors, right? We never want to hold them like this. It's not a safe way. We always want to hold them like this. And we never want to run with them either. All right. So let's see. Well, let's start out with, I don't want to move too far ahead, but basically we're going to get started by initially cutting our strips for our feathers. Okay, so now depending on the size of your turkey, your pine cone, you might need more or less. So if you have one of the bigger ones, you might need, I would say, 3 to 4 strips of each color to make a feather. If you have a smaller pine cone, you might only want 2 to 3 of each color, okay? So I have a smaller one. So just remember, if you have a bigger one, you might be making more feathers. But I'm going to start out with my piece of paper here. And what you should do, now remember, I'm making a smaller one. If you have a bigger pine cone, you want to cut bigger strips for bigger feathers. If you have a smaller pine cone, you want to cut smaller strips. So I'd say if you have a bigger pine cone for your turkey, you want to make it at least this much of the paper when you're cutting the strips, okay? If you're making a smaller one like me, you might be okay with doing half the size. And you want to go ahead and start to cut your strip. Now, like I said, for each color, you'd want to cut 2 to 3 strips. So 2 to 3 yellows, 2 to 3 reds, 2 to 3 oranges. And we're not going to touch the brown for now, okay? Leave the brown to the side. So we're going to go ahead and cut, I'm going to cut 3 per color. Oh, Michaela, it's okay. He'll be right back, right? Don't worry, I promise you, I won't move super fast, okay? We won't leave you behind, I promise. Can I get a smile? There you go, that's a little better. It's okay, this is going to be fun. Don't worry. I know, sometimes with scissors it can be a little hard to cut. It can get kind of frustrating, right? At least for me. I remember that too. So friends, let's go ahead and work on our colors, okay? So like I did my 3 strips in yellow. And then I'm going to go move to red next. Okay. How's everyone doing with their strips? Good? Okay. Now when you make a set of 3 strips, set them to the side. Oh, hold on one second. All right, friends. Sorry about that. My cats were starting to fight in the background. So I have my strips of yellow. Then I'm still working on my strips of red here, and I'm just giving it a little bit of time because I know Michaela's going to come back and she's going to need to catch up a little bit. So I don't want to go too quick. Now, like I said, if you have your bigger pine cone for your turkey, you can make more than 3 strips if you'd like. But I think I'm only going to need 3 for my turkey. So I did my yellow and my red. And let's see, I'm going to move my brown to the side here. And the next one I have to do is orange. All right, so Alyssa, that's up to you. I'm cutting it hamburger way, this way. But there's no wrong way to do it, okay? So some people, if they wanted to cut the strip longer like this, they can. But I'm cutting it from the hamburger direction. That means it's more the horizontal side of the paper, not the vertical. That's okay. That's okay. I can't hear you, Alyssa. If you want to type it in the chat for me, you can let me know. If you want to type in the chat for me, you can. I can't hear you, Alyssa. I'm sorry. I have you on mute right now. Can you type into the chat for me? Or did you, it doesn't matter what direction you cut it. You can either cut it hamburger size, okay? Or you can cut it hot dog. But I'm cutting it hamburger. All right, so I'm going to start with this here. Hold on one second. All right, so I'm gonna start hamburger way with cutting my strips for the orange, okay? And like I said, remember, we're not rushing, so it's a-okay. So we've got one. Does that make more sense, Alyssa? The directions? Like, you can cut it whichever direction you want as long as you end up with 3 strips, okay? Or more, depending if you have a bigger pine cone. Just make sure you don't cut up your brown yet. All right, so now I've got my 3 for orange. I'm just gonna double check the chat here because I do see that someone wrote in here. Oh, and that was Alyssa, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't realize that, Alyssa. So yours were already cut up. Okay, that must have been someone at the library that already helped you out with that step. So now I understand what you're saying. Oh, that's okay. That's fine. You'll be able to make the feathers out of it. Just don't touch the brown yet, okay? All right, so can I get a thumbs up from everyone that made their 3 strips of each color? Oh, okay. Good to know, Colin and Jack. That I had coworkers that were making up the bags for me, so I wasn't aware of that. So they must have just helped you out with that step, which is awesome. So I see Zoo Crew Kids gave me the thumbs up. Who else can show me a thumbs up if they've already cut their strips? Okay, Alyssa's got hers. Let's see. Blake, I think Blake has his. Jack and Colin have theirs. Okay, let's see. Michaela, did you guys have your strips? I might have just missed it. I just want to make sure I don't go ahead of time on you. Do you guys have your strips cut? Oh, very good. Okay, awesome. Adelaide and Everett have theirs. Very good. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do, friends, is we're going to draw a feather shape on each of these, and then we're going to cut them out. So I'll show you what I mean by a feather shape. Let me just draw it here, and then I'll show you. Or your grown-ups could help you as well. It's more like a very wide eye shape, okay? It's this way. See what I mean? If it was a very wide eye, or like a cyclops eye, this would be your feather. Now, I drew it the shape for the bigger pine cones, but my turkey is a little smaller because I'm using the smaller pine cones. So I'm going to draw my feather shape a little smaller. So let me show that for who has the smaller one. So look here, friends, okay? If you have the bigger pine cone, this is roughly the size of the feather that you want. If you have a smaller pine cone, you want a smaller feather. See, so this is the size pretty much for the larger feather. This is the size for the smaller feather if you have the smaller pine cone like mine. Here it is for scale. Okay, see I have a small one, so you don't want your feather to be too big. But if you have a bigger pine cone, you can draw it as big as you'd like. Okay? Very good. Or really, you could make it any size that you really would like to. It is your Thanksgiving thankful turkey. I would make it, if you're making it smaller, you want to leave room to write what we're thankful for on each feather, but we're not there yet. So once you start drawing those shapes out, you can also cut them out then as well. It's up to you if you want to draw out all the feathers first, or if you want to draw and cut, draw and cut. Oh, Michaela, that looks fantastic. Very good. That looks great. All right, so I'm going to cut this one out here. And I kind of like when we see like the lines from our drawings. I know some people don't, but I do. So when I make my turkey, I'm gonna cut around the lines versus on them. But that's up to you if you'd like to cut on the line too. And I'm gonna choose to draw all my feathers out first and then cut them out at once. But like I said, if anyone would like to draw it and then also cut it right after, you're more than welcome to do that too. Okay, so I've got another one. You can use, like I said, you can use your scraps to draw more if you'd like, or you can continue to put them on your strips. But you want to end up with at least 3 feathers for each color. So if we have 3 feathers, friends, maybe someone can answer this in the chat for me. If we have 3 different colors that we're using and we're doing 3 per each color, how many feathers will we end up with? If we've, oh, very good. Unless you're doing more like Alyssa, which that's amazing. I'll see Jack and Colin said 9. That's right. Aw, Michaela. I like Michaela's shirt too. Wonder Woman is awesome. It's very cool. So you can do however many you'd like. I know I keep saying that, but when we do crafts at the library, you don't exactly have to follow what I'm doing. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm just guiding you through what you can do. So I'm going to move on to my yellow now because I've used my orange. And this will take us a little bit, friends. We won't move on to the next part until probably around 6:05. So don't feel like you have to rush in cutting everything out. But while we're cutting things out, maybe you can start to think about what you're thankful for this year. I know that this is a different year for everybody, but there's still things that we might be thankful or happy that happened in our life. Maybe that's having our grown-ups in our life. Maybe that's keeping in touch with a friend over Zoom or a video chat. But there's always something that you can be happy for still, and that's why we're doing this. So we can all remind ourselves. Like for me, today I was glad that it was a gorgeous day out, and it was not super windy, and the sun was super bright. That was really cool. Oh, that's awesome, Blake. Those are really good feathers. So if you get to that point where your feathers are cut out, friends, you can start to write on your feathers what you're thankful for this year. But if you're not there yet, that's okay. And depending on your age, you might need help with your grown-ups, or you might just be able to write that out on your own. But while you guys are starting to do that, I'm going to move on to cutting out and drawing my red feathers. Now remember, you do not want to touch your brown paper yet. And if you can leave yourself some scraps of yellow. I forgot to mention that. Make sure you don't throw out your scraps of yellow. That is something we'll want to use for a beak eventually if you have some left. And the good thing is about making that beak is you can really utilize the scraps to do that. You guys are doing great. Good job. Like I said, if you get done with your feathers, you can start writing on or drawing on your feathers to show what you're thankful for this year. Okay, just need one more red feather. All right, friends, can you give me a thumbs up if you're done cutting your feathers and if you're starting to work on what you're thankful for? Okay, let's see. Blake said yes. Who else is done with their feathers and they're starting to write on there what they're thankful for this year? Anybody? Or are we still working on cutting them out? That's okay, Alyssa. Some of them just got, if they were smaller, If they were smaller pine cones, some groups got 2. So that's okay. That just means you got extra. All right, so I have my feathers. I think some of us are still cutting. Like I said, remember to save some of your yellow to make a beak then as well. Even if it's a scrap like this, make sure that you just save some because we can make it out of that. But I'm going to start writing what I'm thankful for on these feathers. Like, let's see. The first thing I'm going to write that I'm thankful for is the library. Because it's a really cool place with lots of books and movies, and it brought us all together today. So, library. Let's see. I'm going to say I'm thankful for my mom. See? Mom. I know it's backwards for you guys to see it, but that's what it says. Let's see. Also thankful for my dad. See? Dad. What else? Oh, I'm thankful for my pets. Right? I'm thankful for my cats. I'm thankful for smiling, because smiling is a lot of fun. Can anyone show me their best smile right now? Really good, Alyssa. Thank you. Oh, Michaela, that's a great one. Oh, Colin and Jack, those are really good. Oh, Blake, that's a great one too. I saw that. Adeline and Everett, those are amazing smiles. Thank you for sharing those. Let's see. So we have a couple more to write down. Let's see, what else? What else am I thankful for this year? I'm going to put down being happy. Definitely thankful for that. Can anyone show me one of their feathers, what they decided to write down, or they can type in the chat, one of their things that they're grateful for? Oh, see, Adeline drew a picture of one of her things. That's awesome. Being safe, definitely. That's a great thing this year. Let's see. Oh, Winnie. Winnie, is that your pet, Blake, or is that? Aw, see, that's fantastic. Very good. Let's see. I've got 2 more feathers. I'm going to put down the sun because it was just a great day today for it to be super sunny out. And I'm going to write down my fiance too. All right, so I've got all my feathers written out. Can I get a thumbs up if someone is done writing their feathers out, or thumbs sideways if they're still working on them? If you're still working on your feathers, thumbs sideways, okay, no problem. Thumbs up, okay, see, so Michaela's done, so we'll give it until 6:06 or 6:07 until we move on to the next step, okay? Till then, I am going to organize my feathers. They're out of the way. And it's going to be really funny when we get to the head then for our turkey, because I put really big eyeballs in my kit. So, family. Alyssa, that's a great one. That is a great one to use for sure. Colin says my family's health. That's something you can definitely be appreciative of, for sure. That's a great one. I know it's been so different this year and hard in many ways, but they can always find the good in certain situations, right? Okay. And don't feel bad if you have to organize some of this paper, because I completely understand. Some of you guys may be at the kitchen table like I am, and you don't have a lot of room at the kitchen table sometimes. right. So we'll give it a couple more minutes. Okay, Jack and Colin are done with their feathers. Sounds good. Just hang tight, okay? We'll just give a couple more minutes to those who are still working. Oh, that's okay, Alyssa. Take your time. That's fine. We'll just give it, we still have time. We'll give it until, like I said, 6:06, 6:07-ish, until we move forward. Michaela, that looks great. Okay. So, for those of you that are finished with your feathers, you could start working on your beak for your turkey. So, let me show you if you're getting started with your beak. If you're not there yet, that's okay. But what I would suggest is you cut out a diamond shape, and then it could be a 3D beak versus just a triangle that would just be a 2D beak. Oh, drawing. That's a great one, Everett. Thank you for sharing. So if you want to do, oh, Earth, Alyssa, Earth is a good one. That's great. Adeline, hold that up for me one more time. Oh, or Everett, I'm sorry. I think I missed that. I saw the drawing one, but if it was a different one, I missed it. All right, so if you're starting to work on the beak, if you're done with the feathers, like I said, you can do it in a diamond shape, okay? So let me draw this out for you real quick. So if you want to make a 3D beak, you want to draw a diamond, okay? See that? So we'll go ahead and cut that out just so you can see. Put the scrap to the side. So when you've made your diamond, you can fold it in half like a triangle. But then, exactly like Jack just did, you can go like this. See? And it makes it to be a 3D beak. And I'll put that to the side. So for those of you that, let's see, we'll give 2 more minutes to still work on your feathers if you'd like. Oh, Michaela, that looked great. Yeah, you can definitely use orange too, whichever you would prefer. And then the next thing after that is you'd want a little scrap of red, if you have it. Because we're going to cut out the turkey's wattle, which is that red thing that's right next to their beak. When you see them? I'd make a turkey sound right now, but it'd be kind of silly. It'd be like, you could all try doing turkey sounds too. It'd be kind of funny. All right, so can I just take a tally with thumbs up if you're done writing out your feathers, thumbs sideways if you're still working on your feathers? Okay, let's see. Blake says still working on feathers, okay? Let's see. Alyssa is still working on feathers. Adeline and Everett still working on feathers, but Everett is done, okay? No problem. How about Zoo Crew kids? Are you guys done with your feathers, or are you still working on your feathers? You can also let us know in the chat too, if that's preferable. We'll probably give it, oh, you're still working. Okay, no problem. That's totally fine. So we'll give it until, maybe we'll do like until 6:15, and then we'll move on to the next step. So I don't want to move too fast, because I know sometimes it's, you know, it's very easy to think of what you are thankful for, but sometimes it can be a little difficult too, especially if you're working on those cutting skills to get all those feathers cut. Totally makes sense. Very good. Those feathers look great. They look fantastic. Very good, Everett. That looked awesome. Oh, Michaela has her feathers done. Very good. Oh, Blake has his feathers done. Awesome. Colin has an amazing snowflake done. All right, so let's see. For those of you, I know we're kind of at different places. So if there are those of you who are completely done with your feathers, you can start gluing your feathers on. We're going to wait to make the turkey's head until we're all done, just so we can all be doing that together. But you can take your glue if you're at this point. If you're not at this point, it's a-okay, because I'll go over this a couple times. The first thing you'd want to decide is what direction you want your turkey to go. If you want your turkey to go this direction, like if your pine cone is sideways, you can decide, but I like putting the feathers towards the back here. See how the back of your pine cone is more flat? Okay? I like putting the feathers in where the words point towards the front of the pine cone. So then that way you have the back of the turkey, and ultimately the head of the turkey will go on the front here, on the front of the pine cone, but we haven't made the head of the turkey yet. So let's go ahead, if you're at that point, like I said, you don't have to be yet, but you can take your glue and make sure that your words are facing the direction you'd want them to be seen, okay? You can go ahead and stick glue on the end here, towards the bottom of your feather. Alrighty? And like I said, I would want it to be more towards the back here. So you'll find a good place to kind of set it in. And when you have the glue, you want to press, 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 friends. Okay? And you want to make sure it starts to stick. Ta-da! See? So I have one feather in. See, friends? And then from there, you can do the same thing over and over again. What's kind of neat too is you can kind of do a pattern with the feathers. See? So you want to put it towards the bottom, friends. Can I see a thumbs up for how many people are working on gluing their stuff right now? Okay. I saw a lot of really cool snowflake faces, but I wasn't sure. I just want to make sure. Okay, so you can offset the pieces. Like I said, when you put the glue on there, you want to press, 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 just so it has a couple seconds to stick to the pine cone. And sometimes, depending on how your pine cone is shaped, it might need a little bit more time. Okay? See, eventually it will stick pretty good. Now remember, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat for me, okay? Just because I know we're all at different steps here. And I would say in about a minute, we are going to want to focus on slowly starting to glue the feathers in, if possible. If you made a lot more feathers, that's okay. But I just want to have us kind of moving forward at the same pace, so we have time to make the head and get that on there and everything before the end of the program. These always go so fast, especially when they're so fun. So if you're already working on gluing your feathers in, that's great. If not, in about the next minute or so, you'd like to put it in there. Let's see, Jack or Colin, is the question something you can type in the chat, or is it something that you need to be on audio for?
I'm asking a question. Could we if we finish like doing the feathers, could we start working on the face if we finish?
I kind of would prefer if we do it all together, just so we're doing it all at the same time.
I just realized that it should be it's a better idea, because then like we know like how we're supposed to make it.
Sure, but you know what? At the same time, Colin, too, if you'd rather go ahead with it, you're more than welcome to. I just think it's a little easier if we do it all together, but you do not have to wait for me if you don't want to.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that.
We're also using a hot glue gun. Yeah, we're kind of cheating.
No, that's not cheating at all. It's totally up to you what works better for what you'd like. That's not cheating. That's innovative thinking. If that's what you'd like to use, that's a-okay with me. All right, so I'm going to continue putting my feathers on here. Don't be afraid to load up on the glue too, because the best part about glue is that it dries and you can always wash your hands. Okay? So see, we're starting to get the feathers in there pretty good. Whew. How's it going for everyone? Can I get a big smile if it's going okay? Very good. Awesome, Michaela. Your smile says it's very good. Thank you. Oh, Blake, that looks fantastic. You're doing a good job. Oh, Colin's giving me a big smile. Very good. I got a heart from the Zoo Crew kids. Awesome. Very good. Now, the fun thing about the pine cones, too, that you'll notice is that they have the different layers, right? They're not all stuck together. So you can even stagger the feathers if you want. When I mean stagger, I mean you can put them in different areas of the pine cone so that it shows different things. And by 6:20, we'll be starting on the face, so we just have enough time for that. So the great thing about this, friends, is that we're working through it together so we know what to do, but by the end, you do have your instruction sheets. Yes, exactly, Jack. You do have those instruction sheets, so if you'd like to move forward, you are more than welcome to. I just find it sometimes to be easier to do them together, but that's why we supply those as well, just so in case you do want to work on them on your own. But I'm starting to get there. See how I said that I didn't want to make my feathers too big? If they were a lot bigger than that, this would probably fall over. My turkey would gobble over. All right. There's that one. And I will say too, if you're having a hard time fitting them all on there, don't feel like you absolutely need to use every one that you created. It's just nice to kind of know that you have a good amount. Oh, Blake, that looks great. Did a great job. You know what would be wonderful too, friends, and you don't have to do this if you don't have the ability or do not want to, but we love seeing pictures of your completed projects, and we love getting tagged on them, either like through Instagram or on our Facebook. That way other people can see what we made too. So if there is something that you end up taking a picture of your completed project, we would love to see it on either Instagram or on our Facebook. It's really cool. Definitely brings a smile to my face later. So, all right, friends, we have about 4 minutes before we start the face. And like I said, you do have your instruction sheet, so if you would rather follow along with that, you're more than welcome to. But just want to make sure. Blake, that looks fantastic. You did a really good job with those feathers, bud. Very good job. Whew. Okay. All right, I'm putting my last feather in here. Aw. All right, friends. So who can give me a thumbs up if they're ready to move on to the face? Can you show me a thumbs up if you're ready to move on? Let's see, Adeline says, she's not done yet. Okay. Everett says yes. Jack says yes. Okay, Blake says yes. Okay, Michaela says yes. Alyssa says no. Okay, so I can give 2 more minutes, but then I do have to start moving forward, but that is okay. Like I said, if you're still working on the feathers, gluing them in, that's okay. I'll just still have to move forward just so that I can get it in for you guys before we reach the end of the program. So we'll give 2 minutes just to finalize everything. This is a good chance for your feathers to dry a little bit. I have 1 feather that doesn't want to stay. The rest of them do. This one in particular does not want to. Ta-da! I love how ours all end up looking different. That's like the neatest part of this project is they're all so cool. Okay. So for those of you, let me see. For those of you that are going to be ready to get started in a minute, I want you to get your brown square out. Okay. Now, you've got to remember how big your turkey is. So if you've got the bigger pine cone, my square is kind of lopsided, sorry. Your face is going to be bigger to match your turkey body. But if you have a smaller pine cone, oh my goodness, pine cone like I do, you're going to have a smaller face that you create, okay? So let's go ahead now and start cutting out our circle shape for our head, okay? Or you can do 2 options. You can cut a circle for the face, or it kind of looks like an upside down bowling pin. If you look at your instruction sheet for your turkey, it's kind of like a round head and kind of a little bit of a neck. You can do that too. It's up to you which one you would prefer to do. Let's see. Hey, Jack and Colin, could you hold me up the instruction sheet again so everyone could see that picture for me? The picture that's on the instruction sheet? So see, friends, thank you so much. See how it's more like almost like a bowling pin shape, like where it's smaller in the middle and then bigger on the top? You can make it like that, or you can make a circle. Oh, Alyssa, perfect. Yeah, very good. Oh, go ahead, Jack.
My mom said that the bottom could be like a point, so you could like put it in the pine cone to glue it.
Oh, that's very smart. Yes, 100%. That's probably the easier way to do it. If you do create that like neck shape, like Jack's mom was saying, you bring it kind of to a point, it'll end up sticking on the inside. That's awesome, Blake. I love that. So that was so cool. So if you create that point shape, like Jack and Colin's mom was saying, that's probably the easier way to go about this. So I'm going to try that too. This one I didn't draw on, and that's okay. And then if we want to grab a scrap of red for the wattle, that's also important to have nearby. See, I made my turkey head a little too big for my body. So I'm going to try again. Okay, so now it's a little smaller. So if you're at this point, if you've cut your head out, you can start to glue the beak and the Google eyes on. And then we'll go ahead and cut the little wattle shape out as well.
Star, I have a question. Do we have to do the wattle?
You don't have to if you don't want to.
Okay, I want to know because I don't want to do it.
That's okay. Yeah, you don't have to. Oh, Alyssa, that looks great. Good question though, Colin. Yeah, you don't have to put anything on your turkey that you don't want on there. Or you can add anything that would be, not on a turkey. If you want it to be an alien space turkey, you could do 15 eyeballs if you have them at home. That's fine with me too. It's up to your imagination. So I'm gluing my Google eyes on right now. Wait till you guys see the size of the Google eyes compared to my turkey's head. You're going to laugh. Because I did. All right, you guys ready for this? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Look how big his eyes are compared to his face. Isn't that silly? He's got huge eyes. Gobble, gobble, gobble. All right.
That's
So
not funny. It's scary.
it's scary? Oh,
Eyes are big. It's freaky.
well,
Scary.
maybe my turkey is an alien turkey, and that's just how big his eyes are. He's the turkey from outer space. Oh, see, Blake, that is awesome. I love that you put 4 eyes on your turkey. You know what? Maybe he's just cooler that way, you know? All right, so if you're gonna make the waddle, if you want the waddle, you can, our turkeys in our pictures don't have the waddle, but the waddle is the red piece of skin that they have here on their face. And you can kind of make like the shape of like a number 8 that doesn't have the holes cut out if you want. Oh, I like that, Jack. That looks great. So I'm going to draw it real quick just so you guys can see it. So this is kind of the shape I'm going with for the waddle. But you don't have to cut that out if you don't want to. If you like it without that, then that's okay. Oh, Michaela, that looks great. Good job. That's fantastic. All right, so we have about 6 minutes left, friends. These programs go so fast. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out and glue this on my turkey's face. And because I made a 3D turkey beak, I'm not gonna glue it on top, then it won't be able to open. See? Gobble, gobble, gobble. Oh, Jack, that looks fantastic. I love that. Very good. Did a great job. All right, so for those of you that were just finishing up our face, you can put some glue right at the base here. Okay. And then find the best place to put your turkey face. And which for me is going to be right in the front here. So I'm just going to hold it, make sure that it stays in place, hopefully. I'm glad to see that it's working really well for all of you too. Oh, Alyssa, that looks fantastic. I love the beak too. It's super neat. All right. Oh, I might have to put a little bit more glue on here. Come on. Okay. All right, friends. So look. Oh, don't look yet. I just lost my head. Oh, I got glue on here. Hold on 1 second, friends. Hold on, friends. I'm just going to mute real quick so I can take the glue off my keyboard. It got stuck in the middle. That looks great, Michaela. I love that. Very good. All right, friends, so you're doing great. I'm just cleaning up this last piece here. Okay, so I'm going to try to glue the head in one more time, and then we just have, oh, let's see, Colin is doing a pilgrim hat. That is super cool. Super, super cool. And I will tell you, friends, just I know that we're finishing up, but we are, for the week of Thanksgiving, going to be taking a break with programming. I did send out emails to families that have already signed up for things those days, but if you participate in Imagination Station or any of our STEM programming for 6 through 11, those are not happening that week. The normal program for the Friday, I think on the 27th, got pushed to December 4th. So if you have already signed up for that, you'll get that email. But just so you guys know, we are taking a break that week. So it's nice that we made this all together today. I love that. Blake, that's super cool. Like I said, if you guys don't mind or if you share it anywhere, please feel free to tag us because everyone on staff loves seeing these, especially for the holidays. I think everyone this year kind of needs more cheer, right? So this is always a big help. Look, friends, so this is my turkey. Oh, he keeps losing his head. Okay, well, his head will eventually dry, but this is my turkey. Oh, very cool, Colin and Jack. I love those. Oh, Michaela, thank you so much. Blake, you did really great. Oh, I love the hat. Colin, that's so cool. Oh, Zucro Kids, look at that. I love yours. Could you bring it a little closer to the camera just so I could see it? Oh, that is so cool. You did such a great job. Aw, thank you for sharing. All right, friends, so I know we're right at the end of the program, and like I said, I know that it goes super quick, but feel free to share with us how they turned out. I hope that you guys had an amazing time, and we'd love to see you soon. Oh, Alyssa, I love that. That is such a cool turkey. You've done such a good job. Seriously. Oh, Michaela, I love that too. Oh, that's hysterical. Well, thank you so much for the smiles that you guys have brought to me today. I appreciate it. I hope you guys had a good time. Does anyone have any questions that they want to tell us in the chat? Or are we good? Can I get a thumbs up if we're good to end the program? Thumbs up? Very good. Okay. So feel free, like I said, feel free if you ever want to show us pictures, you can. But it was great to see all of you, and I hope you guys have a great night. Adeline and Everett, you guys did a great job. It was nice to see you. Jack and Colin, thank you so much for joining us, along with Jen. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Nice to see you. Have a good night. Oh, Adeline and Everett, those look so good. Very good. Bye, Alyssa.
Bye.
See you later. Oh, bye, Blake. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
See you. Oh, bye, Michaela. See you later. Oh, Adeline, did you have a question?
I need 4 eyes and I only have 3, so one of my turkeys, I have 1 eye.
That's okay though. That's so cool.
We have some downstairs, so we're gonna try to do that later.
Yeah. No, I totally understand that.
Here. This one is the non-perfect turkey, and this one is the perfect turkey.
See, and I love that. I really like making things different sometimes. Oh, Everett, that looks so good. You did such a great job.
This is humongous.
He thinks it's hilarious.
Oh, I think it's hilarious too. You guys did so wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us as always.
You say thank you, please.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Have a good night. See ya.